May I request all of you to be seated and kindly switch off your mobile phones or put them on silent mode. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. On behalf of the Department of Financial Studies, I welcome you all to the 28th Annual Convention organized by Association of Finance and Control, University of Delhi.
The Department of Financial Studies, operating under the aegis of the University of Delhi, has been an institution of learning for students who aspire to enhance their managerial efficacy in the finance industry. For over 2.5 decades, DFS has been providing the industry with qualified, proficient, and dedicated finance professionals through its flagship course, MBA in Financial Management, formerly known as MFC, Master of Finance and Control. The MBA program offers a niche course that seeks to equip a select group of students with conceptual and analytical skills for financial decision-making. What sets this course apart from the other contemporary courses is the area of management, is the balanced blend of various aspects of finance. The students are provided with inputs in basic areas of managerial decision-making, such as managerial economics, quantitative techniques, financial accounting, corporate law, etc., as well as in different core areas of finance, such as financial services, international finance, international accounting, investment analysis, project appraisal, and many others. To keep the students abreast with the latest developments in the field of finance, the curriculum has been updated to include new courses such as derivatives and risk management, treasury management, real estate investment management, equity research, etc.
We at DFS strongly believe that in the present scenario, academic teaching is incomplete without a healthy interaction with the industry leaders and global business community. Our annual convention provides the perfect platform for policymakers and thought leaders from industry as well as academia to come together to share and exchange ideas under various domains of finance to the benefit of the student populace. Every year, the convention focuses on one central theme which is most relevant to the current financial world. The theme for this year's convention is Achieving Growth Through Financial Sector Development Vision 2020.
I begin by extending a very warm welcome to our honorable chief guest, Dr. P.K. Anand. Dr. P.K. Anand is currently working as a senior consultant in the Niti Aayog after his retirement in September 14 as a senior advisor. He is equipped with degrees including MSc Physics, MSc Economics from London School of Economics, Fellow IIFT, PhD Economics. As a member of IAS, he has vast experience of working in various capacities in the state government of Rajasthan and central government in the fields of education, industry textiles, defense, rural development, etc.
It has been our regular practice to welcome guests with bouquets. This year, however, we would be presenting green certificates to our esteemed guests as a part of our endeavor to preserve the environment. A tree plantation drive will be carried out today in Bengaluru to mark this green initiative.
On behalf of the department, I would like to request Aishwarya to welcome Dr. Anand with the green certificate that is sponsored by our social partner, Say Trees. We welcome you, sir.
I take this opportunity to extend a very warm welcome to Mr. D.R. Dogra, our keynote speaker for this year's annual convention. Mr. Dogra is the Managing Director and CEO of CARE Ratings, India's second largest credit rating agency in terms of rating income. He joined CARE in 1993 after a stint of 15 years in Dena Bank. He has been instrumental in driving CARE Ratings to the position which has attained in the last few years and has also taken the company to the bourses where it got listed in December 2012. Mr. Dogra has over 37 years of experience in the financial sector in the areas of banking and credit rating. Several initiatives have been successfully taken under his leadership, such as acquisition of Calypto Risk Technologies, opening of the first global branch in the Republic of Maldives, setting up the first credit rating agency in Mauritius, and creation of ARC Ratings, a global rating agency. He has also worked closely with the Ministry of Finance, where CARE prepared a dossier on the Indian economy, as well as white papers on both equity and debt markets for the ministry. Mr. Dogra holds a master's degree in agriculture from Himachal Pradesh University and an MBA from Faculty of Management Studies, University of Delhi. He is a certified associate of the Indian Institute of Bankers. On behalf of the department, I would like to request Aishwarya to welcome Mr. Dogra with the Green Certificate sponsored by a social partner, Say Trees.
We welcome you, sir. DFS has strong and active international partnerships with business schools of high repute. One of our leading partners is University of Akron, Ohio. DFS and the University of Akron have been actively collaborating to ensure tangible academic benefits to the students. On this special occasion, we are pleased to announce that Mr. Ravi Krovi, Dean of the College of Business Administration, University of Akron, is present with us today. Sir, on behalf of DFS, we would request you to accept Green Certificates sponsored by Say Trees. We welcome you, sir. We also have with us Mr. Florent Desting from ESC Po Business School, France. He will also be sharing one of our panels on analytics. We welcome you, sir. Now I would like to request Mr. Sunil Chikara, President AFCON, to tell us more about AFCON and its activities.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to thank our esteemed chief guest, Dr. P.K. Anand, our keynote speaker, Mr. D.R. Dogra, and Mr. Ravi Krovi, our guest of honor, for accepting to grace our annual flagship event, the convention. It is a great honor and privilege to have you all today at our event. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you all to AFCON. AFCON is an independent, student-run body at DFS, under which all the student-driven teams operate in close coordination with the aim of attaining the best results. This is achieved with the persistent efforts of both the faculty and the students. Activities coordinated by AFCON are oriented toward building a close rapport with the industry and to provide the students with an opportunity to interpret the challenges as well as the expectations of the corporate world. The industry professionals share their expertise through guest lectures, workshops, and seminars to facilitate the multidimensional growth of the students. The various bodies of AFCON are Corporate Relations and Placement Team, Alumni Relation Team, Convention Team, Public Relation Team, Corporate Social Responsibility Team, and finally the Organizing Committee. AFCON provides its member an excellent opportunity to balance academic learning along with a slew of extracurricular activities to hone their management and leadership skills and to put them in practical use. Students under the various bodies supervise the placement process, conduct alumni meets, and help maintain lifelong relationship with our notable alumni. They also handle the social networking portals of the department, organize the department's flagship event like Convention, Aravniti, and also many inter- and intra-college competitions. At the end, I would like to express my gratitude to all the delegates and professors for coming and making this event a success. I would also like to thank our student body for putting in their best efforts to organize this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil. I now invite Mr. Nitin Nath, the Convention Secretary, to briefly outline the theme of this year's convention and share with us the legacy of annual conventions at DFS.
Thank you, Swati. Good morning to all. It is my pleasure and privilege to extend you all a very warm welcome on the occasion of 28th Annual Convention of the Department of Financial Studies, University of Delhi. Convention, with a legacy of more than 2.5 decades, is a platform that brings together eminent personalities from the corporate sector, ministries, and other regulatory boards, and helps gain insights into new territories of finance through some spirited panel discussions and technical presentations. Cohesive thoughts and ideas of such top-notch professionals with oceans of experience and knowledge help us in contemplating over varied dimensions of the topic under scrutiny. This year, the theme, Achieving Growth through Financial Sector Development, Vision 2020, tries to gauge if a financial sector development is moving in the right direction, with the right pace and in the right way, so as to achieve growth. The 4 panels, one each on capital markets, Indian banking, real estate, and analytics, have been constituted so as to discuss the challenges and the opportunities each of them is witnessing in the present scenario and the growth prospects that will add to the overall growth of the Indian economy. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone on the stage and across the stage for taking out the time and gracing the event with an invaluable presence. I would also like to thank our print media partner, Business Standard, and our social partner, Setries, for associating with us for this year's annual convention. To conclude, I wish you all a very successful and a productive convention. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitin.
May I now request our chief guest, Dr. Anand, to kindly deliver the inaugural address and share his views and vision regarding the current economic prospects in India.
Thank you very much, and a very good morning to all of you. I was very happy to see the topic, economic growth is it is occupying Niti Aayog, where I am working these days. And a question comes to anybody's mind, what do we mean by growth? There was a paper by there was a committee in which Amartya Sen was there, Stiglitz was there, Fitosi was there. And they had given a very good example. They say, attacking GDP method, if there are too many traffic jams, the consumption of gasoline, and in our context, diesel and petrol will go up. So if we have more traffic jams, higher will be our GDP. But is it GDP that matters? Then they say it is the well-being of people which matters. And when we are talking of well-being, welfare, happiness, these are the areas which are much important, and that is the kind of growth we should have. That is the real growth. Rather than having growth of real GDP, we should have the growth that really matters. And I was working on happiness economics, and happiness report comes every year. One of the 3 authors is Richard Laird, who was my teacher at London School of Economics. So when I was going through it, I had a data set of some 49,000 columns. And 49,000 rows, that's the number of entries which I had with me, and 293 columns, of which I selected some variables. And what I found was that when we are talking that if somebody donates someone, you can donate your time, you can donate your money, you can donate your blood. The feeling is that I am donating, say, 100 rupees. So I am shorter by 100 rupees. My command over goods and services goes down by 100 rupees. And to whom I am donating, his command over goods and services increases by 100 rupees. But that is not the end of it. When you are giving money, the kind of satisfaction which you are getting, unless we account that satisfaction into our theories, when we see into happiness economics, we see that who are the people who are happier? And here the idea of financial inclusion becomes very relevant, that you become happier by giving something. So happiness does not stop at your level of income. It is your own satisfaction from your level of income. That is also which matters. And there are many other factors also. Status of health is there. And in fact, leisure is also very important. We see in India, and before coming over here in the morning, I had to rush to a hospital facility to see somebody. Pressure of examination has forced somebody to be hospitalized today morning. a child studying in a school is hospitalized due to pressure of examinations. So unless you have enough leisure, so if you have a look at the lives of your grandparents, at least they didn't have to see every second that what's coming on WhatsApp or here, what are the next emails, what's the Facebook telling me, and how do I look on my Facebook. And I was jokingly telling somebody that the person, the actual, how a person looks like is, it is the arithmetic average of how he looks on his Aadhaar card plus on Facebook. But if you see anybody's photograph on Aadhaar card, it is awful. And if you see anybody's photograph on Facebook, it doesn't look like it's the same person, no, might have gone, spent some money on it and looks so nice. So if we don't have leisure in our life, if we don't have smiles in our life, if we don't have happiness in our lives, and then we are progressing at 7%, 7.5%, we are aiming at 8%, fastest growing economy. And wiping tears from the poor people, if we overlook them. I remember when I joined, my first job was in Syndicate Bank. Around 1975, I had joined in 1976. Somebody came to our branch and he said, I was working in Nandgaon branch in Mathura district. So he said, I want to open an account. And with how much amount? At that point of time, rupees 10 was the minimum amount to open a savings bank account in a nationalized bank. So he said 1 lakh rupees. And everybody sitting in the branch, I was number 2 in the branch as an assistant manager, having joined as an officer. My manager came rushing from the cabin, small cabin, and everybody's pupils were coming out of the eyes. 1 lakh rupees, somebody is bringing in. And after 15 minutes, we realized that he wants to borrow rupees 1 lakh. So he wanted to open an account, means he wanted to open a loan account of rupees 1 lakh. And we were under the impression that there is a depositor. Because when we are giving a loan, a big loan, we have to check 10 things. So that is also one sort of exclusion. There are many kinds of exclusions. Accessibility itself is a very big issue. There may not be a bank branch in far-flung area of Chhattisgarh. Or if there